Okay, the mixed disc mode can be used to prepare songs for burning onto a disc. And right now we see the icon is red, which means that the mixed disc is not set up. We have to click mixed disc settings, and we define the folder that we're going to be putting the songs into, and this folder will work fine. We define the disk type. Normally these days 700 megabyte standard size CD. We'd want to call it an audio CD, which refers to these file size modifiers. The music put onto an audio CD is much larger than the music in an MP3 or WMA or some kind of a compressed format. So we're not going to be able to fit 600 or 700 megabytes of MP3 files onto an audio disc. We'll probably only get 10 or 15 songs. And so the size modifiers allow SongMixer to pretend that a song is X amount larger than it actually is, so that you don't end up selecting more music than will actually fit. These default settings should work fine, but if you find that they don't, you can double click on the type and change the value. This is saying that an MP3 file is 11 times smaller than a WAV file. So I think WMA here is probably closer to 20. So click Done. And seeing the directory already exists, use it anyway. If there were any songs in that directory, they would be added to this list already. The icon is turned green. We're ready to add songs. We can use the fill with random. You can just drag it in exactly like we did with the MP3 mode. It has a status bar that will fill up with red. And when we're ready, we'll click sync changes, and the MP3 files or WMA files or whatever will be copied to that folder. However, SongMixer will not convert them to WAV, and it will not burn them. You'll have to use some other program to do that, either Windows itself, or Nero, or some other CD authoring tool. In the playlist mode, we can add songs out of the library, MP3 player, mixed disc, or just drag them in. Or we can drag them from another list, or we can drag them from the library, or whatever. We can also use the fill with random. But if you do fill with random, you should know that the playlist never really gets full. So eventually you're going to have to abort, otherwise this will just keep going forever. So click the abort picking random songs down here at the bottom. And then we'll see if we scroll down to the bottom that we managed to get 155 songs in that time. If we save the playlist, we can save it as an M3U format playlist, which can be read by Winamp and Windows Media Player and other MP3 playlist programs, and even MP3 players themselves will understand those usually. If we load an M3U playlist that was made by another program, then it'll add those songs.